Hi everybody, welcome to English 111. I wanted to do a quick video with you just to show you some of the features in our Blackboard course. I know a lot of you may be taking online courses, or you may have taken some in the past, but sometimes we just do a little different things just like you would in any other class that you take. So I just wanted to give you a quick tour of everything. I'll do another video where I talk about some of my policies and things like that. So for English 111 online, I do have things organized a certain way. To start with, I started on the announcements page. I will do an announcement every Monday. I work this class Monday through Monday, so you'll get your announcement. I will also email that announcement to you. You'll probably see those same notes in the weekly folder. I usually transfer them over. Sometimes I'll edit them slightly and do a shortened version on the announcement, but then you'll sort of see the same thing in the weekly folder. I just do that for continuity so that you can see what you're expected to do that week. And then once you see that announcement, you can go directly to the weekly assignments. That's where our modules, if you want to call them that, or units of study or weekly folders will be. I like to work on a folder kind of organization, and I try to put as many visuals in there as possible. I'm a visual person, so it kind of helps me to have pictures with things, kind of like icons on the computer. So, and I try to keep those consistent. So going over to the weekly folders, I will be adding these every week. And I'm going to try to add a few ahead, so if somebody wants to work ahead, you can. But as you can see, the first week we started on a Thursday, so you just sort of started with the enrollment verification quiz. And then I've already alluded to the Connect information for your Connect assignments. I will note that all of your Connect assignments for each week will be linked in that week's folder. You can also go directly to this folder to see the work. So let's just open the writing process for week 1, just to use it as an example. I try to include an image so that you can see, kind of what we're doing, just to recognize it. And then I try to put the date and what we're doing that week. So within each folder, I'll have subfolders. I do this just so that it's not one big folder with everything in it. Hopefully it's easy for you to navigate. So the first folder will be assignment materials. And in that, I'll usually include an overview. Like I said, sometimes you will see the announcement information repeated. And then any assignments you have. Sometimes I'll give you things to look at ahead. So in this case, in week 2, we'll be writing something in relation to the reading that I've put here. And so I've kind of put it here, and then I'll probably repeat it in the next week as well. So sometimes I carry things over just so you don't have to go back and forth. I've also included some writing process handouts. In the first couple of weeks of the class, we're going to be reviewing the writing process and expectations for college writing. So I have 2 handouts here. I have some reminders. A lot of times in the little files that I include, I'll have some notes from me just to try to guide you. So here I've sort of repeated some of the information from the handouts in my notes, but of course you would need to click into the handouts to review them. You're welcome to print them out if you're that type of student who likes to print things out, or you would just have them as reference. So this is the type of thing that you'll see in the assignment materials folder. The next thing that will be consistent in every weekly folder will be presentations and videos. Sometimes it's a PowerPoint, and I just have it there for you to review. I'm going to be adding a couple of videos where I actually narrate the PowerPoints, so you'll have both my narration and video of the PowerPoints as well as the PowerPoint itself that you can review. If we had a face-to-face class, this would be something that I'd go over, in class together, but so here I'll just be doing a video for you. Sometimes I bring in YouTube videos, or I link to things that may help you in more of a presentation style. I'm a very visual learner, and so I like to have things explained kind of in video style rather than just reading. Some of you may prefer more reading. But I would strongly suggest that you watch the videos, because a lot of times those videos are my instruction for you. So you don't want to just skip over them. And like I said, I try to make this more visually appealing and more easy to absorb if you're the type of student that wants someone to kind of explain things to you firsthand and you're just not reading it. So the next consistent thing that you'll have is a submission folder. If you ever have any work due, it's going to be in the submission folder, and that's where you'll upload your file. I will also have quizzes there, and I'll always connect the connect work. So here, if you notice, I've sort of given you a picture of what you're required to do for this first week. That includes the pre-test, the orientation for Connect, and then a couple of chapters in the book, and exercises to do along with our textbook. So each week I'll include that in the submission folder to kind of show you, to keep you on pace. As I explained in my written notes, for the most part, the Connect deadlines go through the end of the course, because I want to give you grace if you have a busy week and you need to catch up on the weekend, and maybe it was due on Friday, or you need a couple extra days. There are a few exceptions with that. For this week, the exceptions were pre-test and the orientation, because I really need to get you to do those first and not at the end of the course. But then some of the things I do extend the deadlines. You are in a college class and you should be able to manage your own time, and I can tell you what I expect, but then certain things you need to manage on your own. The majority of the Connect assignments are graded. The exception to that would be if I have linked you to a chapter in the book. I can't grade you on reading, because that's something you're having to do for yourself. I can see whether you've done it or not, but that's your choice, how much you read or don't read. The reading will help you complete the module assignments. It will help you understand the material better. I think it just takes a level of maturity to know that those things are connected, and I'm just not going to grade that. But the other things are graded, and whether or not you read the chapter will impact those grades. So again, for the first week, you would do all of the pretest and the orientation first, because they have a sooner deadline. The others, if it went into next week, that would be fine. I want you to learn how to manage your time, because once you go to a university or once you're out on your own in the real world, you do have to have a certain level of management for your own actions. So, that's up to you. For this particular week, I didn't have anything else due, but you would find things in this section of submission for quizzes and submitted work. So going back to the folder, the only exception is sometimes in between submissions and presentations, I'll have a resources folder, and especially when we do our research project for the class, I will link some things about formatting, examples, things that will help you do the assignments. You also have a handbook with your e-text, so you can use the handbook as well, but sometimes I just try to make it easier to link things. So going back to, I call this the navigation bar, it's sort of our menu. Going back over here, I have the discussion board and communication ways in this section. So we will have some discussion boards, and you've already had an introduction that you've done. Those are always graded. Fairly easy grade to get if you participate fully. The posts are always supposed to be 350 word minimum for your post, and then your responses to 2 classmates would be 150 words each. Some weeks your attendance will depend on discussion board and assignment submission, and then starting next week we're going to have a journal function that you'll do, and I'll have journal prompts, and that will also, in place of the discussion board, count as your attendance. So I will be giving you next week, in week 2, a chart with all of your journal prompts and deadlines, and they will coincide with what you're doing that week. So they will kind of replace the discussion board, so you don't have to air out your thoughts to everybody. You can just show me how this is how I'm responding to the prompt. So the discussion board and the journals will be a way of communicating with me and showing me that you're on pace with the assignments. The Teams is something that's optional for you, and I think hopefully it'll show on the video. If not, it's showing me that I have to sign in. You'll have to sign in with your username and password. With Teams, you will be able to communicate with me. We can do video chat. We can do just quick little messages like a text, and that's just an easier way to get in touch with me. So that is certainly up to you if you use Teams or not. Teams goes straight to my phone if you want to send a message. Speaking of messaging me outside of my office, because I don't live in my office, I live out in the real world most of the time, I will be releasing a remind code that is optional for you. I'll be putting that in the announcements by Monday, and you will be able to register with my Remind account, and that's a way for us to text back and forth. So if you're sitting at home and you just have a quick question, you could use the Remind app to text me that quick question. I would probably get it immediately whether I'm in front of a computer or not, because it'll go straight to my phone. And a lot of students like to use that. Again, it's optional, but I try to give you multiple ways to contact me. So Teams and Remind would probably be the quickest ways to get a quick question in or to alert me about something. I also check email every day, but I don't check it on the weekends. And that's because I don't have any assignments due on the weekend. I believe that students and instructors should have some free time during the week, and what you do with your time on the weekend is up to you as well as for me. And so I do not check emails on the weekends. I will probably most Sundays, as I set up my week, check in on emails, but I don't guarantee that, because some Sundays I do have plans, just as you may have plans with your family. We also have a feature called class meetings. This is a way for us to do video chat as well, so we could both come here and have a video chat together if you wanted to go over an assignment. You would just need to let me know, and then we would have an agreed upon time, and we would come to the space to set up a session. So that's just another way to meet with me, and I'm always willing to do that if you just let me know that you want to meet. So the next thing is course information, which I'm sure you've already seen. This gives some information about me. This phone number is in my office at JCC, so that's why I give you other ways to communicate with me, because I'm not always in my office. But my office is in the Smith Building, near the Early College area of the Smith Building. My office is by a bench, so if you're walking down the hall and you see a bench, my office is right there. I have office hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 9:30 to 10:45, and then on Monday 11 to 12:30, just to give you some extra time. But I'm also willing to make an appointment with you if you would like to meet with me. So don't hesitate, if those times don't work, to contact me. Here's my syllabus. I'm sure you've already reviewed this, but I have the syllabus and a syllabus PowerPoint. The PowerPoint is just my way to make it more visual and to bring up some kind of important parts of the syllabus, but that PowerPoint does not replace the syllabus. It's just my way of presenting it in a better way than just making you read a bunch of pages. But I have a lot of policies in the syllabus, so please read through those. One of the most important policies is that I don't accept late work. So please don't just think you can just submit things and I'm just going to take it. This is not high school. I don't have a late box. I'm not required to take late work. I do not take it. If you have a catastrophic personal situation that happens that is out of your control, for instance, I had a student in the hospital last semester, and that student let me know that they were sort of incapacitated, and she was in the hospital for a couple of weeks. I was able to know that that was going on and adjust deadlines for her, and that was just because she didn't plan on having a car accident, and that happened. So, but that is few and far between. Do not assume that I will take it. Do not email and tell me you're sending it in a week late. None of that will matter to me because I do not accept late work. I will let you know when there's any grace with an assignment, such as with the Connect assignments. I have offered you some grace with most of those deadlines. But I have 150 plus students, so that I cannot work on 150 different schedules. So I put out the schedule, I give you, more than enough time to get the work done, and it is due when it is due, and it's not up to you to change that. If you have extracurricular activities, family obligations, work obligations, that is your responsibility to manage. All of my deadlines are at 11:59 at night, and like I said, I don't do weekend deadlines, so that does give you time to work on the weekend to turn things in on Monday. We do have some Friday deadlines though. I tend to do the lesser energy deadlines on Friday and then the main bigger projects on Monday. That way if a student does want to take the time on the weekend to work on something, they can. So hopefully that helps, but that's my main policy. The next policy that I want to point out that I've mentioned multiple times in my syllabus PowerPoint, and I'm going to say it now. If you think that you're going to use artificial intelligence to write your papers, please plan to fail the class. I will not be grading anything that is deemed copied and pasted from artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, any other AI form. We all know that AI is part of our lives. I use it, you use it, but it cannot be used to write your work for a college credit. I will be giving you zeros if it is deemed that you have used artificial intelligence. I expect you to write your own work, and I only will grade work that is written by a human. And that human needs to be the human that is registered for my class. So please take note that if your thought process was, hey, this is going to be easy, I'm going to just let ChatGPT write my papers, that is the wrong thought process. And I can tell you that the whole English team is on the same thought process. Our administrators support it. The higher level administrators at our school are aware that students are cheating this way, and we are putting down strong policies. If I do discover that you have used artificial intelligence and copied and pasted that, not that you've just used it, but that you have copied and pasted something that was written for you, or if you've copied and pasted from Google or any other source, you will get a zero and you will be submitted to the conduct board and student services, and they will be contacting you for a conduct hearing. So that is against honor code and it is not allowed. The other form of plagiarism, just so that we're on the same page, is self-plagiarism. If you've written a paper in another class, you cannot receive credit for that same paper or that same work in my class. That is just because we are audited, we are accredited, and I cannot give you credit for something that was given credit for in another class, even if you're retaking English 111 or any class that you have with me. So if you have any questions, let me know. That's the main navigation of Blackboard. The only thing that I'll add is there are some resources here. I've linked you to the library resources, formatting resources, and resources on JCC campus. So hopefully you can use the resources section. I've also included some student samples with each major assignment. So if you want to see some A papers, you can look through those to see what I give an A to. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to having you in 111.